looking at the tape against Cincinnati, what sticks out, especially on not stopping the run?
Just we're seeing too much. I think just got to be accountable in our gaps. Um, sometimes we want to make the play so bad that sometimes we get out of our gaps and it makes the defense susceptible. Our tackling's got to be a lot better. But hopefully we can learn from it. Good teach tape and move on.
And that being said, you have a lot of veterans in that group.
Mm-hmm.
Why has there been inconsistency with so many guys that have been around?
Any guy wants to make a play. Sometimes you got to temper that. Just buy in. This defense is always made about just 11 doing their jobs, and we just got to get back to that. It's not, old guy versus young guy. It's just everybody's got to buy in.
Is there a feeling that maybe there isn't that buy-in, or is this?
I'm not just gonna, crap on the team and say, oh, we're feeling sorry for ourselves, or we're not able to do it. No, I think we have the guys capable to do it. We got a lot of ball to play, and I just think we got to learn from our mistakes. We still got a lot of ball to play, and no one said it was going to be easy. We gotta pick our game up.
What challenges the Packers?
Jordan Love is a really good quarterback. There's not a throw he can't make on the field. Tucker Croft is one of the better tight ends in this league. They got a lot of good receivers. Their O-line finishes a lot of their plays, and Josh Jacobs we've played over the years. He always provides a challenge for our group. So after our last performance, this is the perfect dose we need to really get back on good football.
Cam, TJ never really says it, but knowing him as well as you do you think he relishes these matchups with, not matchups with, but when there's elite edge rushers on the other side, like Miles a couple weeks ago, Micah Parsons coming in this week?
I don't think he really pays attention to it. It's not like they're playing against each other. It's like two quarterbacks. Like, we all like to make it about the quarterbacks, and it's a quarterback versus another quarterback. They don't play against each other, it's not like basketball where you're going one-on-one. But I just think, TJ wants to be, the most dominant player and, one of the better players in this league. And so he's always just trying to, play good football.
Cam, speaking of quarterbacks, do you feel like there's anything more for your quarterback in this game? And how does he fit in as a leader, do you think, in this group?
Goes about his business, works really hard, communicates, studies a lot of tape. I think he just provides a lot of leadership and accountability to the group. Pre-snap is big in his book, and he's always looking for that extra edge. So I think our offense has really benefited. I think our defense has really benefited from a communication standpoint and learning what teams like to do. He's played against every defense multiple times. That's what happens when you played over 20 years. But he's playing at a high level right now.
Aaron's played in that system. Do you pick his brain on the things that Matt likes to do?
Maybe, yeah. Thank you.
Feel to finally get out there and actually start practicing again.
Oh, it was like all that joy, of being a little kid playing football again came back. It was like my first two plays yesterday it was a scout team, and I handed the ball off. I don't think I've ever smiled more on two handoff plays in my life. I was just happy to be back out there, man. It's been a long time, so I'm just happy to be back out there doing what I love.
I know it's scout team stuff, but is it still really that helpful for your development?
Absolutely. Reps are reps, man. Like, at this level, especially going against our first team defense, like, I think a lot of people look at scout team as like something that you're skipping over. But I think you can really get a lot out of it when you really look at it the right way and you approach it the right way. I think there's a lot to, learn from that stuff, and stuff you can work on that maybe you can't really do when we're working with the offense and trying to perfect the plays. Just trying to get out there, give our defense a good look, and have fun doing it.
You 100%? Do you feel like it's still like wait and see here?
Oh, no, I'm 100%. I've been 100% for a while.
Well,
What did you gain?
imagine that it would have been this long between throwing after the initial injury?
What's that? I'm
Could
sorry.
you imagine it would have been this long in between throwing after the initial injury?
No, to be honest with you, I I didn't know how long it was going to be. You never know. And obviously that was a freak injury that happened. And, you can never count on anything like that happening, but you have to be ready for it. And I feel like we attacked the beginning part of the season, at least in my growth and development. We developed a plan, with the coaches, and I feel like I did a pretty good job of attacking that and executing it while I was out. It was hard to stay engaged and to, try and be present every single day when you're, not able to do anything. So I'm just happy to be back, man. And I learned a lot from that time. And, I think I was still in there every day and trying to, prepare like I was going to play, even though I'm not. And, even when you're not even dressing, you still got to do that.
They really still call you Coach Will? Is that really?
Yeah, they gave me that name for a couple weeks there, but now I'm back to Player Will, which is pretty damn nice.
What did Arthur have you doing to make you a second quality? Is there anything specific?
They just gave me little projects to do throughout the week. Whether it was, looking at some of the signals that we're doing, perfecting that, and looking at some of the signals that their defense has shown on film, or breaking down corners, or maybe breaking down one game a week, and then I was doing like a 2-minute situational around the league cut up that I was creating for the guys. And at the very least, sometimes I showed it, sometimes I didn't, but like for me it was really good just because I'm learning how to watch. And I talked to Aaron when he first was in Green Bay. Like he said that the defensive signals was something he did, and that was something he told me that hey, I think this would be good for you. And just it makes you watch film really intently, and you get to see what they're doing and what they're signaling on every call. And I think it's a good way for me to learn how to watch film and to learn how to diagnose a defense. And I'm just, again, trying to take every day, day by day, and learn as much as I can this year.
Obviously, you still want to have an NFL career as a player, but does that experience doing those things as a coach make you think about potentially pursuing that avenue at some point when the playing career is done?
I've thought about it. Getting into coaching and whatnot, and I feel like I'd be a pretty good coach, but I want to play as long as I possibly can, and then we'll talk about that.
You talked about having joy doing the two handoffs. How much joy did you have at the Pens game with Aaron? Saw you doing the celebration behind him. What was that like? Yeah, that was pretty funny. He was doing a little inside joke with Mason, and you couldn't even see Mason was behind the. He was like, that was who Aaron was doing, pointing at, and I was trying to get Mason's attention, like doing his little signature move. So he finally saw that today and gave me a hard time about it. But no, it was a lot of fun, and just cool to be a part of a group like this and a city that loves their sports, and that all sports support each other, and I really appreciate that and love that.
Well, what can you do in a practice setting to show the coaches that you're ready for when a field setting?
I mean, I think the things I do on scout team and the way I'm able to, drive the ball and throw the ball and show that I can make NFL throws, I mean, that's one thing. And then I think outside of that, like on the field, just making sure I'm in the back getting mental reps and knowing, where I would go with the ball if I was in, or, having those conversations. And just, sometimes it's hard when you're not actually getting the physical reps, but proving that you can make the throws and do everything physically on the scout team, and then also mentally, making sure that everyone knows, you know what you're doing. Whether you're the fourth string quarterback or the first string quarterback, if your offensive guys are looking at you and you don't know what you're doing, like something's messed up. So, no matter what position you're in as a quarterback, like guys are looking at you, and if you don't know the scheme and if you don't know what's going on, then that's where the problem starts. So like, I think it's really important for me to prove that I know the game plan in and out and attacking it like I would be playing.
You said that Aaron told you that he did the defensive signals when he was on scout team in Green Bay. How much of a resource has he been for you while you've kind of been sidelined working through the injury?
He's been awesome. And I mean, I said it, in Latrobe and even in OTAs here, like he's been so gracious with his time and his energy towards me. And anytime I ask him a little question, even if it's something little, like, he'll dive into a whole response about why he does this and what it's good for. It seems like he cares, and he cares about giving back, which is rare. And I really, really appreciate that because, not all people are like that. And it shows what kind of person he is.
Well, did they keep you in the dark when they were going to start this clock at all, or did you have some sort of an inkling?
I definitely had an inkling, and they kept me in the loop and in the know on what we were doing, and so I appreciated that, and we were all on the same page, and we had a good plan for it. So I knew generally when I was coming back. I didn't know exactly when, but I was, starting to get excited. I didn't want to get my hopes up ever because you never know, but I'm just glad and blessed to be back.
It seems like you decided to look this week as all yellow, head to toe gold.
Listen, trust me, I was just messing around with it, because we will never. I mean, I don't know the next time that we'll be wearing these helmets, so I just wanted to mess around and throw all the gold on. It looked a little crazy. I looked like a highlighter out there, but I was just trying to have fun with it.
What do you think of the helmets in the uniform?
Oh, I like them. I do like them. I mean, I still might go with the gold up top, the gold tights, because we have the tan pants that will break it up. It's not gonna look as crazy. So, but I think that might be the swag for this week. I do like them. I like them a lot.
I feel like this can tend to be a little bit cliche, but just what is special about playing in prime time, playing in Sunday night football, especially when it's a home game?
It's amazing. I love the primetime games. I'm not really a fan of the 1 o'clocks because it just feel like you wake up and you go. And then when you play primetime, it's like we're the only game on. Everybody's watching. So what other stage do you want other than being out there with the whole world watching and you make plays on?
This is the best third down offense in the NFL right now, and also the best at third and long.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have struggled at times to contain third and long. What do you guys have to do to be sharper against a team that's this good at converting those plays?
I mean, communicate and be tighter in coverages. That's something.
When you guys are working to improve, where have you guys come up on short of that? Like as far as player accountability that you guys know you can do better.
Like I said, just communicating, making sure everybody's on the same page, and when we're in our man coverages or whatever zone coverage we're in, just make sure we have the crisp breaks and things like that. That's pretty much it. If I'm being honest, nothing special that we have to do.
How close do you feel like you guys are to being as clean as you can be with those things?
A couple plays away. It's that simple. Literally a couple plays away. We'll eliminate the small details that we had. I mean, the small little mistakes that we had. But other than that, we'll be good, man.
When you look at this offense, what do they do in particular that might present the biggest challenge, or I guess specifically, what's the biggest challenge they pose to you guys?
They got a quarterback that can make every throw. They got a running back that can run downhill, and then they got fast guys outside. So that's what makes it, difficult. When you got all those pieces, you can't just focus on, just one thing. For example, if you just had a running back that's deadly, that can run the ball a lot, and not really a quarterback that can deliver the throws, you just pack the box and stop the run. But with them, they literally got pieces everywhere. So it's gonna be a good task for us, but I think we're ready for it.
How excited are you for the overall just environment of Sunday Night Football, Rodgers? It's the story of the week.
Yeah.
This week in the NFL.
It's gonna be cool, just getting to watch him play against his former team. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and then just the environment by itself. The fans gonna bring the juices at nighttime. I mean, it's gonna be dark out there. It's prime time. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
You guys are gonna be bright. Do you like the jersey? You're a fashionable guy. What do you think of the alternates?
I'm a bright colored guy, so I do like it. Like, if I tell you anything, it's just my car is orange. I have an orange car, so that should tell y'all that I like the bright colors. It's gonna be fun, especially just to mix up the uniform combination and things like that.
Is there any adjustment to the changing the helmets? I guess they're all the same helmets, right? They're just new.
Yeah, you can't even tell if I'm being honest. Once you put the helmets on, you feel like you got the black ones on. So it's no different. I mean, the pads might be a little stiffer because they're brand
you gotta
new.
break them in, I guess.
But that's why we wore them this week. We wore them 2 times already. Got another day tomorrow, and I think we'll be all right.
Orange car from Cleveland when you're in Cleveland?
It has nothing to do with Cleveland. As soon as I got the car orange, everybody was like, yeah, you need to change the color of the car. I was like, listen, it has nothing to do with Cleveland, I promise. I just like the color orange,
Get a gold one now.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the gold color, just in general. But I mean, I like Pittsburgh's colors, but I'm just saying, I'm more of a I know, I'm more of a, orange than gold. Sure. Because I went to Virginia. We had orange. My high school had orange. So I just love orange.
The classic debate here is whether this is gold or yellow. I mean, the old school people say black and gold.
What do you want?
The new people say black and yellow. So
what you think? What is it?
I don't even want to incriminate myself.
Anybody?
I'd say yellow.
Yellow?
Yeah, a lot. The older generation says gold, but the younger generation
yellow,
says
gold.
I mean, it's technically gold, but was
see,
black
all right,
very political.
With me, I'm gonna be honest. So to me, this is yellow.
There you go.
When I say gold, I'm thinking
Saints.
yes,
Yeah.
the
exactly.
Saints. There it is. That's gold. So don't hate me, y'all. But this is my opinion. This is yellow. Sorry.
All right, he's
Thank
gotta
you,
go. We
Juan.
got 3
Appreciate
minutes
it.
to meeting.
So it's fixable. It was just chalk it up as one of those games.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely fixable, but it's something. It's a mentality, it's an attitude. So we just got to be more physical at the point of attack, getting our blocks, and making plays.
Alex Carroll was telling us that a mistake would happen, and then you think next play, all right, I need to be there, and then it just compounds.
Yeah.
How tough is it in those situations to kind of stay where you need to be?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just moving on to the next play. Things are going to happen in the game, good or bad. No matter if it's good or bad, you got to move on to the next play. And so I think that's just the mindset that everyone has to have. We all have to have, and so we just got to continue to carry that mindset with us throughout the season, every single game, every single play.
When you have these weeks where you kind of get off your game plan, what's the focus in practice? Like, how do you kind of correct that in these type of days leading into a game?
I mean, I think it starts in the meeting room. Being locked in and paying attention and communicating well in the meeting room, and then taking it to the walkthrough and taking it to practice. And so, at the end of the day, we're not going to go out there and perform well if we don't practice well. And so I think it just starts at practice and how we practice, the intensity that we practice with, and then that'll carry over to the game.
Do you feel like you've had 2 good days here?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been 2 good days for us, so we just got to continue to build. We got another day tomorrow and then another day Saturday. So, the hay's not in the barn until 8:15 on Sunday for this week. So we just got to continue to get after it and continue to build.
Is it a good thing that you guys have a couple extra days? Because you see, you guys are really good after bye weeks. We're really good with extra days in preparation.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've done a good job. We came in the building Monday. Looked at the film, assessed it, and we just already looking at ways we can be better. But like I said, for us, it's just we start the game fast, but we just got to be more consistent throughout the whole game. And so we just got to, like I said, at least for up front, we just got to be more physical. We got to get our blocks and just set the tone up front.
Alex, is it as simple if you can't stop the run, you can't do a lot of other things?
I mean, I think that's what it's showing so far for us this year. Like I said, when we stop the run, we're in the lead defense. We don't, we're not. And so I think for us, that's always the main thing, stopping that. Like I said, there's a good running team coming in, so we just got to set the tone early and keep the tone throughout the whole game.